Hello there, wellness entrepreneur. Before we get into today's episode, I want to make sure you know about the 2 hour workshop I have coming up on how to 2 times your Instagram reach, convert Instagram traffic into paying wellness clients in 12 weeks. And here is the bonus. If you show up live, you're going to have an opportunity to get a personalized Instagram bio audit from me to optimize your page, to get clients while you sleep. We're going to go over how to attract ideal clients effortlessly, how to stand out and differentiate yourself in the online wellness marketplace because Instagram has so much potential for you. You're going to know how to convert followers into paying clients, even if you have a small audience. And if you have no experience on social media, it's no problem. Just go to the show notes and grab the link and you can get signed up. It's $7. So the price of a latte to get a strong foundation for your business where you have the potential to grow your audience because having consistent lead generation, continuously growing new followers and your email list, it just brings so much power and potential to your business. And plus, if you show up live, you're going to get special bonuses. The doors to the Instagram message makeover clinic, the 3-month group program with me to grow your Instagram, you'll get access to exclusive bonuses that you'll only be able to get for showing up live and being part of this workshop community. So I'll see you there. Okay, now let's get to today's episode. The topic of today's episode came about from a client session where we were reviewing and preparing for an event that an open house she was having out in the community. And I also get this question a lot in the Instagram message makeover clinic where I talk about the potential of signing new clients in a day. Like you could go out and have a conversation, engage with a new follower or someone that's not even following you and potentially get a new consultation that day or tomorrow and have a new client by the end of the week. And the question that often comes up when I say engaging with people at a networking event or your own event or on Instagram is how and what does that mean or look like? And that's what we're going to go over today. Because if you've ever had that sinking feeling when you're leaving a network event or you're talking on Instagram DMs after chatting with someone new and you're like, well, that was nice. It was nice to meet them, but literally nothing came from it. Is it really worth my time? And some of you might answer yourself and say, no, it's not worth my time. It never leads to anything. And that is why I'm creating today's episode because you're missing out. There is a ton of potential available to you when you have the exact 3 bucket filtering system that I'm going to teach you today. And that took me from awkward small talk as an introvert to someone where I can strategically, consciously in my mind, filter every single conversation and make it have potential of somewhere in my life or for my business. Whether I'm talking with someone at a Chamber of Commerce mixer, I am connecting in person with a workshop or a class I'm teaching, I'm talking to people in my Instagram DMs, it doesn't matter. This can be used for any of these areas. And the best part is it only takes about 30 seconds to figure out when you're doing it in person which bucket someone may belong to. So you never waste another precious minute of your time on conversations that go absolutely nowhere. So let's get to it. Here's what I see with practitioners all the time. You're treating every conversation the same way. You're going into helpful practitioner mode or listening practitioner mode and essentially giving the same elevator pitch to your kid's soccer coach, a potential referral partner who owns a meditation studio, and someone who literally just said, I've been dealing with chronic back pain for years on your Instagram DM. And not being able to identify which bucket someone is costing you so much money and so many opportunities. And here's why. you're not qualifying people fast enough. You're spending 20 minutes talking to someone who's never going to be a client instead of quickly identifying them as a potential referral partner or just an acquaintance if that's what they're going to be. Or I've had people DM me and I can tell they're trying to connect with me, but for weeks, the conversation goes nowhere. And it's annoying to me because I don't have a lot of time. Maybe I could have used their services, but they were still kind of fishing with me. It was just weird and awkward. And this was done through the Instagram DMs. And eventually I just stopped responding because it wasn't going anywhere. I didn't know what she wanted from me. She was a cold stranger on social media, and I could sense her good intention of trying to connect, but it was too much time wasted. So don't be that person. Number two, you're also missing out on warm leads. So someone mentions they're struggling with exactly what you solve, but instead of smoothly moving them forward towards a consultation, you give a lot of free tips and then you send them on their way. You don't help them or make an invitation that helps them take that next step. And or the third thing that happens is you create confusion. When you treat everyone the same, nobody feels special and no one knows what to do next with you. So nothing ends up happening because a frozen, confused mind goes nowhere. They stay frozen. So the truth is, every person you meet falls into one of these three buckets. And once you know which bucket they're in, then you'll know exactly how to handle the conversation. And this happens in my mind for every conversation I had with someone. I'm not telling them this, it's just happening. I'm aware of it. So here's what I teach my clients, and I call this the networking filter, a simple three bucket system that ensures no conversation is wasted and goes nowhere again. So, every person you meet, whether it's online or in person, falls into one of these three categories. Bucket one, they're going to become an acquaintance, someone who's lovely, but not your ideal person or client, and not in a position to refer you regularly. So, your neighbor who's into wellness but already has a trainer, or a fellow wellness practitioner, but who's too much overlap where it could be competitive, where you're not able to refer people back and forth so much because you do too much similar work. They might not be a great referral partner or a potential client. I just hinted to the next two buckets, but you really enjoyed the conversation with them. You have similar values and likes. You like them as a person. So they might become your acquaintance. They might become a friend down the road. For example, some of my good friends that I have now are studio owners from the past. Yes, they were more referral partners and I had a business relationship with them, but then they also became friends, good friends of mine over time. But it can start as an acquaintance where every so often you meet for a Zoom coffee chat or you go for a walk, or if they're a practitioner like you, maybe you meet up to go to some seminars or continuing education events together because it's always nice to travel with someone or share a room with someone and have someone there. Just someone who will be in your life, in your world, and you get to decide what level, like good friend or just an acquaintance. But they're not really going to transition into that business side. Maybe, maybe not. So you're just knowing that. And so, what you might choose to do with them or how you might steer the conversation is going to be a little bit different of what you do for bucket two or bucket three. So, I'm going to go over the buckets and then we'll kind of break some of the conversation differences. So, bucket two is that referral partner. So, someone who regularly works with your ideal clients offers something, a complementary service. So, maybe you're a physical therapist, yoga teacher, and you help moms. So, maybe another person, practitioner that you could refer to would be a nutritionist, where you specialize in the physical body so much. You don't really get into lifestyle components. You're more in a healthy lifestyle. So, a nutritionist is a great referral partner. You have the same exact audience, but you provide different services. Or maybe you're an online yoga meditation, trauma informed practitioner and you refer to the personal trainer in your area or the physical therapist who actually is in person. So You can think big here, even if someone mostly works online and you work in person or vice versa, you can still refer back and forth. As long as you have the same audience and you don't do the exact same type of work. So much potential there. Okay, and then the bucket 3 is the potential client. Someone who fits your ideal client avatar has the problem that you solve. And when you say, "Oh, yes, I can help them. They are the person that I love to work with." Then in your mind, you're then filtering, do they need help now? Urgently? Do I need to schedule them for a consult? Or are they more just my ideal client, but not actively seeking help now? So maybe I'll just try to get them on my email list so I'm here when they need me. Here's the magic. When you identify which bucket someone belongs to, you have a clear roadmap now for the conversation because you know where you're going. You know where to direct them instead of winging it and hoping that just something good happens. You have three different conversation strategies that are designed to get you the outcome that you want for each type of person. And the nice thing is, if you go to networking events and you are confident and your strategy for going the networking event, or like I said in the Instagram DMs, you're confident in your strategy and the purpose or intention behind the conversation, you're creating safety for that person. So they always know, oh, she's got me. She's a leader. She's going to lead me in this conversation. I feel safe and supported instead of like that conversation where I was having with that person. It felt unsafe. I didn't know her intention. I didn't know where she was going. It just felt kind of a waste of my time. So, when you start using this network filter, here's what changes immediately. You save every hours a week. Instead of spending 30 minutes in small talk with someone who was never going to hire you, and again, this can be at a networking event or in a DM, you quickly identify them as either an acquaintance and have a lovely 5-minute chat and then move on to whoever could be a referral partner or an actual client. Because you've identified your referral partners, now your referrals will skyrocket. When you identify someone as that potential partner, you have a specific conversation designed to create mutually beneficial relationships so the referral benefits go both ways. Instead of hoping that they remember you someday, you're actually proactively building a network. Or you're going to increase your consultation bookings immediately. I say this over and over again to my clients that if they are talking to someone that is actively needing their help now, whether you're at the end of a yoga class, the end of a workshop, at a networking event, out in the community, in a DM, it doesn't matter. If someone is saying, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking for someone like you," or "I've been needing help, I'm stuck here." When you identify that potential client that needs help now, you'll know how to exactly smoothly transition the small talk from, "Hey, this sounds like something I can help you with. Would you be interested in chatting more about it? I offer a free consultation." Boom, schedule it right there. Don't give them a card. Don't say you're going to follow up with them later. Schedule it right there. And if you're dropping the link in the DM, give them a week or so. If they don't schedule, circle back and follow up with them. And you're going to get so many more consults from just that one step instead of sending them on their way and hoping that they schedule. No, 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 no. You got to schedule them right there. Or if they're not ready right now, then say, "Oh, okay, no problem. I have a free guide, or I have an email list where I talk about my upcoming events and workshops and retreats. Would you like to get on my email list? I'll send you the free guide on XYZ." And then you have their email, they'll be on your email list. So you can follow up with them and nurture them so they know about your work. You can potentially get referrals for them, or they know where you are when the problem arises. When you do this, you're going to start showing up to networking events and social media with confidence instead of anxiety, the fear of wasting time. When you have a clear plan for every type of conversation, you're not going to be wondering, what am I supposed to say? Or how do I not sound salesy? Or gosh, that was a waste of time. I don't know what to do next. You're focused on genuinely connecting with people and providing value based on what they actually need from you. You become known as someone who gets it. People start saying things like, "You should talk to So and so, she really understands how to connect with people. Or talk with so and so. She's an expert in XYZ. She's going to help you out. Or you would be a great referral partner because they know someone in your community knows exactly what you do. Or she always knows how to help. The reputation becomes one of your biggest business assets. And your business will grow without feeling forced or inauthentic. Because when you're able to filter someone, acquaintance, can have a lovely conversation and do that more of on your personal time. If you're at a networking event, for example, if I know that someone might be more of an acquaintance, I'll grab a card, I'll follow up with them. I'll put their contact information in my phone and I say, okay, I definitely want to go for a walk with you or grab a drink sometime. But right now I have to go to the bathroom or the restroom. I'll politely excuse myself. And then I'm looking at that networking event for the referral partners or the clients because I am so introverted. So I want to make sure that networking events, if I do make the time to go from them, that I am getting those referral partners or potential clients. And I love the acquaintances. I definitely will follow up with them as well. But I know how to prioritize my time. Or in the DMs, same thing. I know how to prioritize my time and never cold DMing someone or forcing someone that doesn't need my services. I can't tell you the annoying Facebook messages I get from someone who friend request me and I look at their profile. They look like a real human. They actually could be my potential client. So I accept their friend request. And then they start cold DMing me right away. And it might be one cold DM and then I don't respond because I'm not looking for their services. They never asked, they never got to know me to figure out like where I am in my business and what I actually am struggling with. And then they send me another message like angered, like, hey, how come you didn't respond to my message above? Because I never need your services. I never asked for your services. It's just yucky. That to me feels inauthentic. And you never have to do that because you're going to act like a human being and actually listen to them. And we're going to get into some of the conversation starters. But I have clients who literally have started this process. They go to their next networking event, their next class, they teach their next workshop or their next conversation in the DMs, and they'll get a consult immediately or a nice referral podcast connection or Instagram live potential. So much potential. And that is what is really going to consistently keep revenue coming in the door for your business. And it can happen quickly once you know. So let's get into the implementation strategies. Let's get into some quick clarifying questions. So, in the first 2 to 3 minutes of any conversation, you want to find out what are they doing as a practitioner? Who do they help if they're a practitioner? If they're not a practitioner, what's their health and wellness situation like? Do they have support? Are they looking for support? If they're a practitioner, who do they typically work with? If they are working, if they're needing help with health and wellness and they do have support, who are they working with? Maybe they're working with a trainer and they think that they have everything that they need, but they have this nagging low back. And you know that you can fill in the gap as a physical therapist, for example. Or maybe they're working with a personal trainer, a nutritionist, but you are a perimenopause and a menopause expert, and they don't have that exact information. And you know that you can run some functional labs on them and get the hormone information that they're lacking currently that they're really struggling with. So when you ask these clarifying questions of what's going on in their life, or if they're a practitioner, who do they serve? Then you know how to position yourself to fill in any gaps, or if someone feels completely supported and taken care of, again, you can always just highlight any free guides and why someone might want to get on your email list. Or if they're a practitioner, you're going to know, oh, okay, actually, we have too much overlap. They're not a great referral partner. It would be confusing to my audience if I was collaborating with them because my audience wouldn't know whether to work with me or them. Or actually, we have the same audience, but we have complementary services. So they would be a great referral partners. So, for acquaintances, when you're having the conversations after you've asked the clarifying questions and now you know they're going to be acquaintance, a referral partner, or a potential client, Now, what do you say? How do you move it forward? So, for the acquaintances, you want to keep it light and genuinely friendly. Share what you do, briefly express interest in their work or their life, and then you wrap it up gracefully. So, for example, you can say, it was so nice meeting you. I'd love to stay connected on Instagram, or I would love to go for a walk since you're in my neighborhood. Let's connect more over there. I'll send you a text or an email and we can set up a time. Or let's just stay connected on Instagram and then bow out of that conversation and move on to the next one. For referral partners, this is where it gets strategic. You want to understand exactly who they work with, share specifically who you work with, find the overlap on a conversation that the two of you could have that would be mutually beneficial to both audiences. Maybe suggest a coffee chat or follow up conversation so then you can learn more or figure out a referral strategy, like how best do they like to receive referrals. Maybe schedule a dual joint collaboration of some sort, like a webinar, a workshop, in person or online, or an Instagram live. And then you can say, it sounds like you work with a lot of women dealing with pelvic floor issues. I actually specialize in helping women with chronic pain who've tried physical therapy, but need that mind body connection piece. I bet we know some of the same people. Would you be open to grabbing coffee sometime? I love to learn more about your practice and share how we might be able to refer to each other. Really simple. Then schedule it right there. Whip out your phones together, schedule it right there. So you're always moving on to the next step. Okay. Then for the potential clients, this is where the magic happens. When someone mentions they're dealing with exactly what you solve, here's your roadmap. Acknowledge their struggle. Wow, that sounds really frustrating. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Share that this is the area that you help. You know, this is exactly what I help people with. Give them one quick insight. One thing I see with a lot of my clients is XYZ, then offer the next step. If you ever want to chat more about this, I do free consultations where we dive deeper into what's going on personally for you. I can share some specific strategies that can help you or that you might be missing. And then we can talk about what it might be like to work with me if that's your appropriate next step. Then they say yes, schedule it right there. Put them in the calendar right there. If they say no, you say, okay, no worries. This is what our brain is afraid of, this rejection. So just be prepared for that. And say, no worries. Would you like to join my email list? You'll stay up to date on my next workshops and retreats, and at least we'll stay connected that way. They say no, say, okay, no worries. Are you on Instagram? Maybe we can follow each other. Just see if they become part of your world in some way. If they keep saying no, they were never going to buy from you anyway. So just let them go and say it was nice to meet you. Now, if it is your ideal client and they truly are kind of struggling with something or have struggled with what you offer and help with in the past, I find it's very, very rare for them to say no to a consult, no to the email list, and no to following you on Instagram or social media. Usually they'll say one of those, whatever one they're most comfortable or ready to do. But if it is my ideal client, I don't think I've had someone that said no to all of them. Maybe one out of, oh gosh, I don't even know, 30, 40, or 50 conversations. It is more rare, just so you mentally prepare yourself for rejection. It does happen. Sometimes you'll get someone that says no to everything, but not as much. And nothing has gone wrong if that happens to you. You just have opportunities to refine your conversation or where you're showing up. Maybe you're just not getting in front of the right people. And then there's the follow up system. Here is where most people drop the ball. You have great conversations, exchange the information, and then nothing. So, acquaintances, again, you can connect on social media, schedule that next coffee date or walk, and genuinely engage with their content. Sometimes they just become your greatest engagers to help your content get more views. For the referral partners, hopefully you've scheduled that coffee chat. If you haven't, make sure you do follow up within 48 hours to schedule it. And then again, during the coffee chat, discuss specific ways that you guys can refer to each other or collaborate and hopefully, again, follow them on social media and stay in touch. And for the potential clients, if they said yes to scheduling a consultation, hopefully you did it right there. If they said maybe or let me think about it, hopefully you got their email and added them to the email list. And you can always, if they're not scheduled for the consult, follow up with them in a week or so with a valuable piece of content related to what they mentioned. Maybe you have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube video, or you made a reel on the topic that you guys were talking about. You can send it to them. And again, it just encourages them to engage with their content. Here is an Instagram DM version because, again, this works in Instagram DMs. So check their bio, their profile. Are they a potential client, potential referral partners, or just someone who likes wellness content? Ask a clarifying question. Thanks for engaging with my content, or welcome to my page. I love having you here. What's your wellness journey been like lately? Or I saw you're a practitioner of X profession. What's your client experience be like? Who do you love helping and working with? And then you apply the same bucket strategy. You can use the same questions, the same clarifying questions, and the same process, but just through the DMs. So here is two mindset blocks that I might hear about this approach. But Allison, this feels so calculated and salesy. Here's the thing. Being strategic does not mean being authentic. You're still being genuinely interested in people because you're asking these clarifying questions. And in fact, you're going to be saving them so much time because you're going to direct them where they need to go instead of having aimless conversations. You're having real conversations that's appropriate to them. You're just being intentional about how you can best service each person you meet. Think about it this way. Would you rather have someone waste your time with a conversation that goes nowhere? Or would you rather that they quickly identify how best they can help you and then provide the next step and real value? The networking filter actually makes you more helpful to people, not less, because you're giving each person exactly what they need from you. Here's another roadblock. What if I misread someone and put them in the wrong bucket? Okay, this happens, especially when you're learning the system and refining, or sometimes people just don't know what they want or what they're struggling with, and they're a little all over the place, and that's okay. But here's the beautiful thing. People will tell you over time if you misread them. Either they're going to come up to the consult call and say, "Oh my gosh, no, I don't need your help. I'm so sorry." Or you're going to show up to a coffee chat and realize that actually you're not great referral partners. Or you're going to have a conversation on Instagram and you're going to realize that actually maybe they're just going to be a friend. So if you think someone's a potential client and you offer a consultation and they say, "Oh, I'm actually already working with someone," you can immediately pivot to, "That's wonderful. How's that going for you?" You might find a gap where A, you can still help them. I've had that happen before. Or you're going to treat them as an acquaintance. I have people that follow me on Instagram all the time that are already working with business coaches, but they say that my content resonates. They really like my content and we stay connected on Instagram. That's great. I might be there for them if they ever decide to switch coach. Or what happened one time is their coach went on maternity leave and was not going to come back to coaching. So then they became my client. I think it took about 6 months or a year where they were following me. But hey, I'm here for that. That's why that is the importance of, again, continuously having a lot of conversations and growing your audience. If you think someone's an acquaintance, but they start asking deeper questions about your work, you can smoothly transition to potential client mode and offer that consultation. The key is to stay flexible while still being intentional. And here's the truth, you can get out there and start this process today. In fact, I encourage you to. The next conversation you have with someone, whether it's in a DM or in person, then just start to filter in your brain: acquaintance, referral partner, or potential client. I tell you, as an introvert, this really changed everything for me because I was really fearful of having a lot of conversations that lead in nowhere because it was such a huge energy drain for me. But when I figured out the system and I would go in with attention, I felt like I have more control and it allowed me to prioritize my energy and know how to recover quicker as well. So it really did change everything for me. And again, for my clients that start implementing this, they either get consults right away or they develop some great referral connections and collaborations. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. I'll see you next week. Go get registered for the workshop. It's happening September 9th, and I will see you there. Bye for now.